Hey, it's Faith Talk Live. I'm Rick Probst.
And I'm Dan Ratcliffe.
I barely recognize this. She's gorgeous. I mean, it's amazing.
Look at her.
Denise.
Thank you.
Denise King, author, speaker, entrepreneur. I guess I better be careful because HR does listen and watch this show.
Better be careful. Look out.
My gracious. I mean that. I look at your pictures on Facebook because I see you working out all the time. You talk about rest. Is it what's this thing you're doing? Tybo Mania or something?
That's the current it's an exercise challenge that I do with my group, my members. Yeah, so it changes every month. There's something new every month.
You're eating. This is a lifestyle for you. It's been over 2 years. You've lost. Now I read this was February 19th. Maybe you've lost more now. Was it 160 pounds?
Yeah, 161 now. I count every pound, every inch.
How is there any of you left?
Trust me, there's plenty of me still left. That's why I'm still working on it. But it's certain areas though.
Yeah.
What awesome. An inspiration you are, and knowing you, right? Because you've been on the show many, many times over the years. Mm-hmm. You don't just do stuff halfway.
I try not to.
I've never seen Denise King do anything halfway. It's either all or nothing.
That's true. Honestly, it's true. You know what? This journey has been amazing. You guys, I love being on your show always, and it's always something new to talk about. But yeah, almost 2.5 years now, 161 pounds and a whole lot of other stuff gone. It's what I'll say, a whole lot of other stuff. And it wasn't just the physical transformation. It was mental. It was spiritual. Yeah. It was all of that. Health wise, it just goes on and on. It's amazing the stuff that we carry, and it's not just the weight. The weight is a result of other stuff that we're carrying, believe it or not. It was for me. Yeah. Other people may say something different, but I realized that I was carrying a lot of junk, not just from eating junk. As you know, I was the peanut M&M girl and addicted to sugar, but it was some mental junk, and it was some spiritual junk. I had to stuff started to come out, and some of it I couldn't even control. It was like in my face that I had to address. It's like, is that me? Is that what I've been thinking? Is that the paradigm that I've operated under? Because that's not right. So I had to adjust in a lot of ways. So it's not just the weight loss that's been transformational for me. It's been a mindset too.
I think that's why you can tell, obviously, that this isn't just a fad thing for you. Yeah. It's not just a quick diet like we do where we go up and down. You've been doing this for 2 years now? Or
almost 2.5. Yeah. Yeah, it's a new lifestyle. It's a lifestyle now. I did the fad diets. I should be in the Guinness Book of World Records because I did so many of them. I tried everything that would come out. But this time, once I understood that it was the sugar and high carbs from my body. Everybody, there's different things that people do and they work for them, but this is what worked for me. So it's easy. It's easy to eat this way and cutting out reducing my carbs. And I eat whatever I want to eat. If it's something that, if I have a taste for something sweet or I want something, I make it, but I make it in a different way. It's keto friendly because that's the journey. It's keto intermittent fasting. 85% of my journey in losing this weight came through the keto intermittent fasting protocol. The other 15% is the exercise, although it looks the opposite because I'm always, working out or doing something crazy around the exercise, but it's not the exercise. It's the food. It is the diet, and it is the fasting protocols that really, brought this weight off.
Wow.
Denise King is an author, speaker, entrepreneur. She just does everything. And as I mentioned earlier, she doesn't do anything halfway. Never has, I suspect. If we had some of your family members on the show, I'm sure they would.
We're waiting for Mom to come on today.
I know. When I'm back home, because I'm not in Tennessee, when I'm back home, I will make sure if we do this show again later in the year, whatever, it's going to be Denise and Mom. Okay.
Yeah,
that would be awesome.
That.
I would love to. We'd love to do that. I do want to talk to you about, and you touched on it. This has been a journey. There have been challenges like everything else. Anytime you want to change something, there are challenges. And you would think, maybe from the outside looking at Denise King, like, hey, this is really easy for her, but I read some of the posts that you have. You have to say, I'm going to take some rest. I'm going to do this. And there is a mental challenge as well. Kind of talk about how you stay strong. Just keep on keeping on.
Yeah, that's a great question, Rick. And really, it started with the mindset shift. When you look at your body deteriorating, as mine was, I was 299 pounds, 1 pound away from weighing 300 pounds, crossing the threshold. I could have eaten a donut, a cookie, or a candy bar and would have, boom, been at 300 that day. But it was the signs, the warning signals that my body was giving me that I'd long ignored. It was the excruciating pain in my ankles. Believe it or not, people have problems with their knees. I've never had problems with my knees because of the weight. My issue was in my ankles. And that, to me, I could not walk in flat shoes. It was excruciating with the weight bearing down on my ankles. I had to wear heels to lift my ankle a bit, right? So that existed, but then it was the warning bells. And I wrote about it. I posted about it, but it's also in the coming book that is going to be released, called Fat Secrets.
Love that.
Yeah. There's actually a 3-series set for that. It's Fat Secrets, The Journey. It's Fat Secrets, The Journal, so people can journal more. And then it's Fat Secrets, the cookbook. Believe it or not, all of the great recipes that I have used. So to answer your question, it's remembering the challenges of my health. The day I was rushed to ER because my heart rate was out of rhythm. It came on suddenly. And I didn't understand it. I thought I was having a heart attack. I was out of town on business, rushed to ER, got to ER, was projectile vomiting, rushed to the back, and literally they stripped my clothes off of me and put all these monitors on for the EKG. And I remember, I have to show this, when it printed off, the nurse looked at it and she snatched it and ran out of the room. And I'm in distress because my heart rate is just pounding in my chest. And in comes 4 or 5 doctors. I mean, rushing in, and they felt like they bum rushed me, but they all came around. And the doctor said, "Miss King, your heart is beating as though you're running a marathon full speed. And we got to get your heart out of this rhythm. So we're going to have to give you something to get your heart out of that rhythm." And they began to look for veins to put this IV in. And the doctor goes, we can't find a vein, go in her neck.
Wow.
And that terrified me. And I screamed out, "You can't go in my neck. You can't go in my neck." And the doctor leaned in my face, literally right here. And he says, "Miss King, really calmly, we're trying to save your life." And at that point, I screamed out, "God in heaven, do something. God in heaven, do something." And the anesthesiologist comes in the room and he says, "We're going in her neck. You're going to have to go in her neck. We can't find a vein." And the tears are streaming. And she says, "No, I can get a vein in her hand. I have the mark on my wrist to show where they went, the top of my hand." Wow. And he yelled at her and he said, "We don't have time for that. We got to get this to her heart now." I mean, voice elevated, expression and everything. And she yells back. She said, "If you raise her hand," and this is really important to me, this is what I stand on, and I try not to boo-hoo when I tell this story. She says, "If you raise her hand, it'll, I'll get it to her heart," because he says I needed to get to her heart quick. But it was the moment of raising my hand as though I'm surrendering to God. When they raised my hand and I could feel the coolness of the medication, and the doctor they all began to count down, 5, 4, and I'm looking around like, why is he counting? 3, 2, 1. At the count of 1, my head felt like it did this, like it literally was going to explode, off of my body. And I just lost the sense of what was going on for a moment. And then, boom, it was fine. My heart rate was fine. And so I asked him, I'm still shaken and I'm still, disoriented a bit. "Why did you count? What was the count about?" And he said, "We know that this drug was going to get to your heart and it would stop your heart."
Wow.
And that's why he leaned over and he kept saying, "Stay with me, Miss King. Stay with me, Miss King." And I was like, what, stay with, what is he saying?
I'm not going anywhere.
Right. I'm like, my heart is still racing like crazy. He's like, "Stay with me." Really calm though. "Stay with me, Miss King. Stay with me." Well, he was saying that because they were stopping my heart. And in some cases, it's known that when this medication is administered, adenosine or something like that, your heart will not restart. Some people die on the table.
Wow.
And so he was saying, "Stay with me," as in live.
Yeah.
And when I processed that later, I could only give God the glory, the honor, and the praise for sparing me in that hour, but it did not change up here for me to realize that that was a signal. So I know it's a long story, long answer to a short question. I remember this moment in time and other moments, but the most profound thing for me in staying on this journey that honestly, while there may be temptations, odd temptations, I'm not really tempted to slip back because this is my new lifestyle. It was the moment at my mother's house that I had consumed 2 bags of peanut M&Ms, the share size bags, back to back, and on my laptop working in this recliner, just chilling, doing my thing. And I realized the bag was empty, but I consumed it so fast to where it shocked me. Like, I know I didn't eat this candy that fast. So I started looking in the chair, in the pillows of the chair, thinking that they spilled out. And not only that, I got up, got on my knees to look on the floor for them because I had to convince myself I had not just eaten that candy that fast. It was while I was on my knees that I heard the voice of God say, "You are out of control. The more sugar you eat, the more sugar you want, and this has to end." And it was such a profound, profound voice. And when I realized, I was on my knees when he said, "You're out of control," I realized, and I heard the word addiction in that conversation. And it frightened me. I said, "I'm addicted to sugar." And I got up in just really bewilderment. I'm addicted to sugar, got my laptop and started researching addiction, sugar addiction. And I put in this search string, impact of sugar on the body. And it was stuff that I was dealing with. It was all these issues that I dealt with years before, even health issues. And I said, "I'm addicted to sugar." And I made the vow at that moment, "No more sugar for me." I yelled it out loud too. And I said, "No more sugar for me." Mom was like, What from her room? What is it? I said, "Mom, no more sugar for me. High blood pressure is because of the sugar. The pain in my ankles is because of the sugar." And that was the vow. And from that day forward, I went cold turkey that day, that moment.
That's
and
hard.
and it's been, honestly, when I say it's been easy because my mind says, "This is your new normal. You will not go back. I cannot go back to that." So if I want something, I bake cakes, I bake cookies, I bake pies. I don't eat that stuff every day. I don't even desire it because I broke the addiction to sugar. And my body no longer desires it or look for it, but I eat everything. I eat the same stuff in different ways. So that's why I've created these recipes that, honestly, I say to people, I say to family and friends, I eat really good. I do. I eat really good and I eat a lot. Just so people know, I'm not that girl that wants the salad at the restaurant. As Queen Latifah said, I'm not that salad girl. I'm not this. I want the steak and butter on it.
Yes, ma'am. Can we get an amen for steak with butter on it? Thank you
give me
very
the
much.
amen corner.
Denise
So
King
that's it.
with us. She is author, entrepreneur, speaker. I love that story, and I do want to talk for just a second here about your new book coming up. When it comes out, we definitely want to get folks knowing how they can get it. But have you gone back to the hospital 2 years later and found the doctors or the nurses and said, "Remember me? Here's my picture, and look at me now"? Have you done that?
No, I haven't done that. I was out of town actually in Philadelphia when this happened, but it's interesting you asked that question. That is something that I do want to do. I have all the documentation of who the doctors were on duty still, and one day I will make that happen. I expect
Yes.
to make that happen. They saved my life that day. They really did. God used them to save my life. And I think about that moment. I had no idea what happened. So, to fast forward, I saw a cardiologist when I got back to Atlanta, and he said, "Miss King, your heart is fine. There is nothing wrong with your heart. But what I need you to do is sleep more." I wasn't resting my heart enough.
Mhm.
That was the issue. I was under a lot of stress, wasn't sleeping a lot, 4 or 5 hours a night and all of that. And I made the vow that if I don't get at least my 7, 8 hours of sleep a night, I will not exercise. I will not put my body through that kind of grind. I will sleep, catch up, and manage the load of work, commitments, and all of that so that I do not sacrifice my heart. Don't sacrifice the rest, the sleep, because I wasn't resting my heart enough. And that's what it was. That's what triggered this. But other than that, been fine ever since. I've run 11 half marathons and 1 marathon. I love it. I love it. Yeah, since July of last year. So
Awesome.
I'm doing things I've never done before, and I'm loving it.
What an inspiration you are. And
Thank you.
And you're going to be an inspiration when those doctors hear it too, because they're going to go, wow.
Yeah, thanks, Rick.
Fat Secrets is a book. In fact, it's 3 books, right? A journey,
Yes.
a journal, and a cookbook. Will they all come out at the same time, or will it be?
Yeah, that's the holdup right now, because
Okay.
I do want them to release at the same time.
Okay.
So 2 are ready, 1 isn't. And so I'm just going to release them together. I think the package is going to help a lot of people reading the story, my story, and how I eased my body into this new lifestyle. But then the foods I cook to maintain the lifestyle, and then how you journal. It's interesting. I'm just going to flash this up really quick. I live by a journal more than ever now. And this one is a gratitude journal. I always think about what I'm grateful for, but I also plan my day around this. All of that is contained in here. So I think it's important for people to chronicle their journey so that they can be excited about the little things, because we want the scale to drop 30 pounds in 30 days, and that's not realistic. Well, it happens for some people depending on how much weight they have, but I didn't go into this saying I'm going to lose 100 pounds in 4 months. I never do it. I take it one day at a time. And I don't even say I'm going to weigh this by this time or weigh that by that time. I lose maybe 1 pound a month now, and I'm okay with that. I went from 299 pounds to 139 pounds.
Wow.
I'm totally okay with that. Now
Yeah.
my focus is fitness. Fitness. That's my focus. Fitness and lean muscle mass. That's what I want. I'm building muscle and leaning out. And that's my primary focus right now. It's not even weight loss anymore, believe it or not.
I
So
agree.
where can folks find the books, especially once they come out, but where can they find more information?
Yeah, more information, go to www.leanwarriorweightloss.com. And that's where you'll find more information about this whole program that I've developed around this. God said, reach more people. So that's how you can come into this program, be a part of this whole journey with online membership, with all of the steps to get you from where you are today to where you want to be tomorrow. And very important, it's not just the nutrition, it's accountability, it's mindset, and it's education. Very important. Those are the 4 pillars of my program. Lots of people are transforming their body as a result of it. So leanwarriorweightloss.com is where you'll find me on YouTube and on the internet.
So
Awesome.
good. Denise King, we always love having you on the show, and just your lifestyle. Leanwarriorweightloss.com is the place to go to. And we're looking forward to getting with you when those books are released. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's take a break. We'll be right back. I'm Rick Probst.
And I'm Dan Ratcliffe.
This is Faith Talk Live.
Thanks, guys.